You should start with the quarterback.
Brock Purdy.
You give a grade.
B plus.
Okay, I was going to give a B,
Okay.
but they're. I mean, we're not in much disagreement.
The plus to me is the running.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, he's as a thrower, he's having a B year. His numbers are way down. He has excuses. McCaffrey's not there. Ayuk wasn't there, and now before he was out, and now he's out. Yeah, I mean those are big losses. Plus, it seems like the book on Purdy's better. Kyle is slow to adjust to this man coverage stuff and these blitzes. So there's a lot going against Purdy, and he's figuring it out. But one of the things he's figured out is he can run more, and he's very effective with it. And I think it's really added to his game. So B plus and trending up.
Okay, I'm persuaded. I love it. B plus, but not an A.
He has more rushes, rushing yards, and rushing touchdowns through 8 games than he had through 16 last year. I like that.
Okay, Brock, you got a B plus, and it means that you still have a ways to go, and I know you embrace that.
You can't be in the A range with a 4-4 record on a good team. On a talented team. I'm not calling them good.
Talented. We know they're talented.
Yeah. Okay. You're next.
Well, running backs.
Okay.
I could give a grade on the running backs. A solid B.
Yep.
May I say why?
Sure.
First of all, they don't have a running back who's going to just, like McCaffrey, break away and break your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Mason is really a tough runner, and God, I admire him. But I don't feel that the league is afraid of their running game the way it used to be. On the other hand, Jordan Mason has been wonderful, and Guerrero seems promising, so I give it a B. Do you think I'm being too harsh in my grade?
No, I think that's fair. I mean, Mason had a really good start to the season, but he got hurt, and part of being a running back is doing it for the long haul. Guerrero looks promising. Neither one does much on third down. So, yeah, I think B's fair.
Okay, the next category, which I would like to address, would be fullback.
Right, fullback.
Because I don't consider him one of the running backs. He's on his own. So C minus, Iggy. What do you think?
Yeah, C minus. You know, he doesn't hurt the team, although he had a holding penalty in this last game. He doesn't hurt the team. He doesn't really make much of an impact, but he's out there.
He sweats.
Oh yeah. He burns calories.
Yeah, and he leads certain run plays, and he always leads you to the runner, which is interesting. But so, he may be the best fullback in the league, but his contribution generously, I would say, is a C minus.
And he's in great cardiovascular shape.
And after game, his lungs are in good shape because he does talk a lot after games.
Yeah.
When he's not avoiding the media during the week.
That's probably the biggest impact he makes is in the locker room, off the field.
Do you think he told Bosa, Nick, we're great friends, but maybe you shouldn't inject politics into football? Do you think he went and told him that? I mean, he has a Harvard degree, Iggy.
I think there's no question that Kyle Juszczyk did, because he's also the leader of the team.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I would like to, what's left? I'd like to tight ends.
Wide receivers? Tight ends.
Oh, okay. Tight ends, wide receivers, offensive line. We're going slow and methodical here, Iggy.
We'll go tight ends first. I would have to say A.
Okay.
George Kittle's having like the best season of his career, or the best season he's had in years.
I know they don't have a second guy to compliment him, but he's so good, Iggy. I'm going to say A plus. If he's not an A plus, who is?
It's fair. I agree.
He's
caught 40 of 49 targets this year, Dad.
I think guy's an A plus. In addition, he blocks so hard. Talk about great competitors. We did it as quarterbacks. He's a great competitor, Iggy. Yeah. He's a great competitor. So I give him and he has his persona. Who knows what any of these guys are like in real life? But his persona is whimsical. He's generous to the media. I give the guy an A plus.
He represents the organization extremely well, and I think he's on the way to a Hall of Fame career.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
next
Wide
category.
receivers. Wide receivers.
Okay, now we're losing Ayuk, but he didn't make much of an impression when he was here.
Right.
Um, they got Debo. Pearsall is promising. They got
Jennings.
Juwan Jennings, who didn't play the last game, but is a revelation.
Yep.
Um,
I would go
okay,
B again. I would go solid B again. Ayuk wasn't himself before he went hurt. We went down. Debo is himself. This is Debo at 29 years old. Juwan Jennings, as you said, is a revelation. The two of them, that's a solid tandem of wide receivers when they're healthy. And the two rookies, Cowing and Pierce, all look promising, both of them.
did Cowing play in the last game?
He returned punts. They didn't give him any catches. They
Did
like
he?
Pierce.
Did I understand? But Cowing is the one with the breakaway speed.
He is. He is. They
So
might want to use him. It might take him 3 years to get him on the field like it did with Jordan Mason, but eventually he's going to start scoring touchdowns for them.
yeah. So Iggy, I agree with the B. And
B.
again, may I say, because I know some of you don't, they're low graders. But B's a good grade.
I mean, for a team that's 4-4, we've given out A's and B's and one C minus so far.
Yeah.
Okay. Offensive line.
Okay. You're better at this than I am, but Iggy, I'm going to say A minus.
B plus A minus. Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
Well, they're different.
pressure hasn't been a big issue when they're running the ball
They're
well.
different, but B plus and A minus are different. So you got to come up with. I'm saying A minus, but you can disagree.
I'd say B plus.
Okay.
I don't know. Any offensive line that has Colton McKivitz on it, to me, just isn't in the A range. And I think when they go, but it hasn't been an issue yet. I still think it could be an issue in the future, but I'm just going to err on the side of caution. B plus.
Where did McKivitz go to college?
West Virginia, Mountain Mama.
Mountain Mama.
Mountain Mama.
I bet he doesn't like you.
I would think not.
Okay.
I like him though. He's funny. He was in that commercial with Brock Purdy, and he was the best part of the commercial by far. He had like a really natural humor on screen. It was great. They should give him more endorsements. The McKivitz endorsement. I would buy that stuff.
Okay. Anyway, okay. I'll go to your B plus, but it's a good grade. And the thing is, before the season, we thought they might have been a D. So they're actually doing well.
And what's funny is it's the better line, D line.
Okay, let's go to the D line.
Yeah.
You're better at this than I am. What would you give the D line?
C.
Tell me why.
It's middle of the road in pressure. In terms of pressures, sack percentage, it's right in the middle of the road, like 15th, 16th rated. And run defense, it's okay. They lost Javon Hargrave, who was not that great. Leonard Floyd hasn't made an impact. Malik Collins is solid. Sam Okwanu is their second best pass rusher. Nick Bosa is good, but not great anymore. C. Expensive C.
Is it as good as it was last season?
It's about the same, maybe a little worse. They had Hargrave last year. Hargrave's a good pass rusher, not a good run defender.
They lost that sourpuss from Sacramento.
Yeah, like Armstead and Hargrave are highly paid. I think they're worse than last year.
That's what I think.
Yeah. They lost the sourpuss. Okay, C for the D line linebackers.
Well, number 54 is a great player. He is.
That's all they got.
Ungats.
He's great, but Campbell isn't, and Winters is better than Campbell. I don't know. I would say like a B minus.
Fair enough, because Warner can't bring him up that much.
Yeah, there's often 3 of these guys on the field.
Yeah,
always 2. Okay, so we got C, B minus. Not a great front 7. Used to be a great front 7. Secondary.
Okay, you know stats better than I do, but I look at that secondary, Iggy. I think it's an A.
I would say
it's an ace. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best part of the defense. They have 3 good corners. Even that Isaac Yadam, who got recently benched, is playing pretty well. It's just that the rookie Renardo Green is playing better. So they got 4 good corners and 3 good safeties. Like Talanoa Hufanga is hurt right now, and Jair Brown and Malik Mustafa are doing really well. So yeah, they're like 7 deep in the secondary.
Yeah. They're a pleasure to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And Iggy, you like the guys in the secondary, right?
It's my favorite position
I
group in general,
I,
but
I
in
used to get
particular, I like
along.
these DBs.
I used to get along with offensive linemen. They're very thoughtful, and Iggy knows that. But the DBs, right? For you.
Yeah, they're not sensitive. They're some of the toughest guys on the team because they're smallish and violent. Like they're not afraid to play football and they're 5'10". It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus, where did you come from?
Okay.
Because I feel like some guys can just be like, I'm 6'8". I play right tackle. I really didn't have a choice. What was I gonna do? But like 5'11" guy who runs around and throws his body like that, it's like, where did they make you? What kind of person are you? Those guys are very interesting to me.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they're often very thoughtful.
Yeah.
And often, and this is, I think you'll agree with this, off the field, they're very gentle.
Yeah.
Boxers are that way too. Very
Yeah.
gentle, very soft spoken, but they'll kill you.
Mm-hmm. Those are DBs for sure. Yeah, they have like a persona on the field. They turn it off so they
Yeah.
could be normal. I'm sure Ronnie Lott was like that.
Oh, God, was he like that. Ronnie, this was when you actually could spend time with players before the horse shit that the NFL does now. I used to sit with him during the week at his locker, and we talk about anything. We talk about books. He would,
Yeah.
what are you watching on TV, Lowell? You know what I mean?
That's right.
Ronnie.
Telling you, DBs are interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do special teams.
Okay, you do it.
F.
I couldn't argue.
It's one of the worst in the league, if not the worst. It's cost them games. It's terrible.
Okay.
So F. Coaches.
Okay, let's do it in this order. Special teams, defensive coordinator, head coach. Special teams coach.
F.
Okay, we don't have to. Sorensen, defensive coordinator.
C-.
I was going to say C. I could put the minus. Give me why it's a C-.
It seems like it's underperforming for the talent that it has. Like I know in the front seven is basically Warner, Bosa, and a bunch of guys, but they have a lot of talent in the secondary, plus the best middle linebacker in football, plus an excellent pass rusher. They should be better than middle of the road. And I feel like Sorensen is contributing very little. What is the Nick Sorensen impact? He's probably getting picked on a little bit.
And Iggy, they give it up at the end of a lot of games. They did last weekend. They were lucky, fortunate, but they give it up. They don't play 60 minutes.
No, especially
they play
the defense.
54 minutes. I'm talking about the defense.
Yeah.
It's a 54-minute defense.
Yeah. Which sounds good for cooking, but not for football.
Okay, head coach. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I got a figure in my head, and you say one, and I'll honestly tell you if it's different from mine.
C.
I was going to say C plus. You wouldn't give him a plus?
If we were grading him as an offensive coordinator, maybe a little bit better because he's trying to figure things out without Christian McCaffrey. But he hired Nick Sorensen. He's 4-4. He hired Brian Schneider. The head coach, I think, is responsible for all of it. It's a team that should be 6-2 right now, but it's 4-4.
Fair enough. Okay, I have a question. Where you sit, is C a generous grade or a realistic grade? Could he be a
Generous.
C-?
Generous? Yeah.
I
don't know that this team might be not good. C is like, well, to be determined. We'll have to. The jury's out on this. Like, I don't know. I mean, they were this close to losing to freaking Dallas. Dallas is bad. Dallas is a bad team.
Yeah.
And the Niners made it interesting with them. So does that mean the Niners are average or are they worse than that? We'll find out.
Well, right now, without McCaffrey, they are clearly an average team. They're a 500 team. And I think they're going to beat Tampa Bay, but I also know they could lose to Tampa Bay.
Mhm.
But Iggy, they have some tough games. The way they're playing now, still have Buffalo. They still have Washington. Who
Not
else are they?
Washington, Green Bay, Buffalo, Detroit.
Well, those are Iggy. Right now, the way they're playing, those are losses.
Yeah.
Say it again. They're going to
Green
lose
Bay
to
on the
Green Bay.
road, Buffalo on the
Lose.
road, Detroit at
Lose.
home. Those are 3
They're going
losses.
to the way they're playing now. Those are 3 losses, Iggy.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
And that's 7 losses a total. So they can't really afford to lose much more than that.
Right. If they were to beat the Lions or Green Bay or Buffalo in Buffalo, I would be utterly shocked.
Yeah.
And I'm not rooting against them. I'm just trying to be realistic. Now, if they get back McCaffrey and he's McCaffrey, they can beat those teams.
Mhm.
It hasn't happened yet. And
No.
when it happens, I'll reevaluate. But the team I looked at this last Sunday would lose to those 3 teams. And Iggy, they still have the Rams again. The Rams beat them when they weren't good. And now the Rams are improved.
It's true.
And Iggy, they still have Arizona again.
Not to
Arizona
mention
beat
Chicago, who has one of the best defenses in the league.
Yeah, they have a lot of tough games, Iggy. And what I'm saying is this team without McCaffrey, and I don't know, is going to lose a lot of those games.